Welcome in. Today I'm going to talk about how everybody listens to the popular narrative without ever doing their own investigating or even looking into basic facts and basic stats. And that's a problem with this community, and I'll go straight into it. Let's go into the most recent example. Right now, I just watched and just created another video on the dev patch notes, which proves triple support is respectively ran in their two comps less than 10% of the time, and all four of the triple support comps have a negative win rate hovering around 45%, even dipping below that in certain ranks. And the losses themselves are percentage based, so if a match is 10 minutes long and you switch triple support for one of them and lose, that only counts for 10% of the time, 10% of a loss. And that also means pick rate is also percentage based. If you play it with 1 minute out of 10, that's 10% playing time. I predicted that exact same thing and I said it in my videos and got called stupid, crazy, and low rank. They don't know what I'm talking about. That I'm terrible at actually looking at numbers and analyzing, because it's a popular narrative, guys. They took what Guang said. No disrespect to him when I say this. His English is not perfect. Sometimes he tries to talk about something that's multiple things, but he says it as a word that means one thing. Same with the opposite. He means one thing, he actually says multiple things. I correctly guessed that, and what he said when he said triple support and played in the whole match, I'm quoting here, is around 10%. People said that and was like, well, that means they're only counting full games. They're like, no, it doesn't. They're like, no, it does that. He said that. Are you stupid? And turns out, I was right. And this goes for the entire community as a whole. You can say things based on facts, based on everything, but just because a popular streamer said something, that means now a whole crowd of people will now automatically assume that is correct because, oh, this popular streamer who's known for their gameplay gave a take on a game, even though they've been consistently horrible at their takes, but they must know everything about the game, right? This has gone on for the history of Marvel Rivals. Pick any season, there is a popular narrative that's not true, which still people to this day believe in. And everyone will still believe in it because they don't do their own research. I have. And I figured out a whole lot about the community just in this past month. Actually, I would say in this past week, more likely. People need to do their own research. Look at the stats. Alright, now I'm compiling for another video every single nerf and buff to base kits and team-ups, putting them in graphs, averaging them out to character per buff, doing different playstyles, poke, dive, etc. Most people in the community don't even do 1% of that because they base everything off of, oh, this high streamer and rank said something, so it must be true. Since they're high rank, that automatically means they're somehow more correct than everybody else. Since it's not the popular narrative, people throw out the lesser opinions, even though they're not actually lesser. And this discourages people from actually speaking up, which I will say this, if you have an opinion based on hard facts in this game, statistics, say your mind. Because these people forming the popular narratives don't want their narratives to collapse on themselves. Why would they? They have built up lies upon lies upon lies. Of course, they do not want any truth seeking into that and seeping into the little cracks of their lies, breaking it down. Because why would they? Do not be afraid of these bigger creators in the popular narrative. Even if you look at outside of the game in like history, popular narratives in certain countries definitely weren't popular and correct in a lot of other places on the planet. Even though this game is a lot lesser scale than those, let's just say, it still rings true. History is just repeating itself with this game. And I have repeatedly said it over and over and over again. If you want someone to actually speak the truth and not the popular narrative that actually goes after people who other people say are untouchable, I consistently make videos about these people who do not want their popular narratives being touched. If you look at multiple big content creators, actually Fox made a video about triple support reacting to it, but it fell into the popular narrative about they only count full matches, which I respect him for actually reacting to it. I didn't think he would, so I was wrong about that aspect right there. But then he fell for, the popular narrative is, no, the stats are triple support's played the whole game, that's when it's countered, no. But I know a lot of people will react to the dev patch notes, and dev vision I mean. So let's see their reactions now. Let's see them have to confront how wrong they are. See how they reacted then. Will they call the stats biased? Probably still. Why wouldn't they? This will get glossed over because it's a popular narrative. And popular narratives are hard to crack down on. After this season, it's gonna come right back. Trust me. That triple support is immortal. That it's super overpowered. It's unbeatable. It's played every single game. That's gonna come back in full force. Don't think otherwise. That's gonna be the popular narrative again. Because I predict this. People will still say triple support's immortal. That's a positive win rate. It's played every single game. Because they do not pay attention at all. My content has been established as commentary. Delving into the details. And when I get challenged, I go after hate comments. Make videos, full-fledged videos videos, debunking them, and restating my opinion with more information. But yet a lot of people do not like that. They don't like being challenged. They don't like just saying the popular narrative. Let me go more into that actually. There's certain buzzwords and just certain sentences which are popular, which just sound robotic of how much they're said. You probably know a couple examples of that. You say your opinion, let's say you're a support main saying, oh, this support is more difficult than some DPS, and then all supports are brain dead. Okay, that's not an argument, and there's many and many of these. People who have no idea what they're talking about will just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Because it's the popular narrative, they heard it a lot, so if you hear something a whole lot, it must be true, right? Even though there's just multiple examples of real life and studies, seeing how if one thing is said multiple times in a row, it's more believed, but yeah, we don't want to talk about that at all, right? Everything in this game, every problem, or at least majority of the problems, boiled down to the community. If people actually start thinking for themselves, disregard, or at least not fully believe and take in everything a big content creator says, the popular narrative, this game will be instantly better. But you know, it's a hard thing these days, especially in Marvel Rivals with this community, to think for yourself. Because why would you when the popular narrative is so convenient? When big streamers just repeat every single one of your talking points, you know, why wouldn't you believe everything they say? Because, you know, it's actually a big streamer says it. That means I must believe everything because big streamers are always correct. They can never be wrong. Right. I'll end the video by saying this. If you decide to give your opinion on Marvel Rivals or even the internet in general, stop just repeating the same talking points from every popular narrative possible. You sound stupid. And if you guys enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. See ya.